Hello, everyone. Don't know who all is actually here. Or I know some of you may have stepped away to take a break. It's been a long day. So, for those of you who are listening, can someone let me know if you can hear me? Can I get a? You can feel free to come off your mic. This is a completely informal conversation.
We can
Yep,
hear
we can
you.
hear you.
Awesome. Great. You guys can feel free to turn on your cameras or leave them off. One of the perks of a virtual event is that you can be in your pajamas all day long. Unfortunately, I don't have that perk today. So we just wanted to create these chat rooms to try to recreate the networking experience that you get at a live conference. So there's really no format to this. It's completely we can talk about our programs and share best practices for our programs. If there are veterans that are interested in specific agriculture programs, we can talk about that. Really, it's entirely up to us how we want to manage this. So if we have about 17 participants, so we could start with just kind of introducing ourselves, if that would be helpful. But again, I just really want this to just be a conversation. It's so hard virtually to manage that because, typically you're in a room and you're able to have these one-on-one conversations, and then you can like kind of jump in on another conversation. And it's really hard to do that in virtually, but feel free to use the chat function. If you want to connect with someone individually, you could do that. But I'm just going to kind of go down the list of people that I see and just ask you guys to introduce yourselves and share a little bit about what you do and why you're here, and we can go from there. And the first person I see, Melissa Blair from NRCS. Oh, we can't hear you. We still can't hear you. How about I hop on to the next person? I scooch on to the next person, and then if you want to kind of chat, we'll let you know if we can hear you if you want to pop in and give it a try again. Matt, you're actually next. I see you pop in the chat.
Oh, great. Hi, everybody. I'm Matt Mulder. I'm the Director of Operations for the Arcadia Center for Sustainable Food and Agriculture. We're in Alexandria, Virginia, and we've been doing veteran farmer training since 2015. We've had 2 BFRDP grants, and we are in the 2020 cycle for the AgVets grant. We have hands-on farmer training that we do. We have a part-time year-long program that meets 1 weekend a month. We call it our reserve program. And we have a fellowship program that starts in March and ends in November that is a full-time VA certified on-the-job training program. And then we launched a couple years ago an incubator farm on our property. And as part of our AgVets grant, we're doing an expansion where we're offering additional training with partners that is going to be online primarily, but also some other components that are really designed to support business development as well as kind of technical assistance that's more focused on a couple different developmental aspects of veterans as they're going through programming. And then we're working with American Farmland Trust to try to figure out and provide some guidance about the intersection between VA home loans and FSA farm loans, and see if we can figure out a way to help people kind of take advantage and combine those the best way, because there was so many question marks about that for so long.
Awesome. Now you mentioned you're going to an online, or you're using an online curriculum. Was that already pre-established before COVID, or was that because of COVID?
No, I mean, we originally, our weekend program it's a combination of classroom training, some out in the field hands-on training on our site, and then we do a lot of farm visits to kind of get out and do stuff. And we've been trying to figure out how to do some online components because we've had participants who just can't make certain months or are
Right.
traveling or doing that. We've had a couple participants come from really far away and we were like, let's figure out how to do it online, but we couldn't figure it out until COVID happened. Then all of a sudden we just shifted to Zoom, and I don't know that we're ever going to stop. I think it, like, we had really a crummy classroom space, and now it's kind of like we had one period where we had like 25 people in a room with their laptops on their laps, typing right next to each other, trying to do stuff on their computers. And it's just so much easier to do it online now. So I think we're going to kind of keep this as some ongoing component in the future.
That's great. I'm hearing a mixture from people that their programs have either suffered dramatically because of COVID, or they have really learned to pivot very well, and their programs are actually doing better. So it's really interesting to see that. Thank you.
Sure.
Robin, I actually see you popped up in the chat, and you happen to be next on my screen too. So
hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. Thank you for doing this. And so as I put in the chat, I am with NCAT's Arm to Farm program and also our ATRA Sustainable Agriculture program. And so NCAT is a national nonprofit. It's kind of a big umbrella. The parent company or parent nonprofit that operates lots of different programs. And Arm to Farm is our training program specifically for military veterans and their spouses or farming partners. And we started doing the week-long Arm to Farm trainings in 2013. And excuse me, we're part of the 2020 AgVets cohort, and that is going to support our Arm to Farm training program so that we can reach more folks. So we're really excited about that. But since 2013, we've trained over 560 veterans and their spouses. We bring them together for a week in a specific location. We've done it all over the country. I'm located in Fayetteville, Arkansas, which is a great location for small diversified farming, which is a lot of the folks who come to our training, that's what they're interested in. And we are really blessed in this region with great small farmers and a really robust local food system. So we've had several Arm to Farm week-long trainings here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. We bring the veterans, and if they have a spouse who wants to come, we bring the spouse or a farming partner, put them up in a retreat center here in Fayetteville. We pay for the lodging, we pay for most meals, and we get a bus for local transportation because we take folks around to local farms so that they can learn directly from the farmers and do hands-on activities. I should say that's what we had done up until this year because thanks to COVID, we actually had, I think, 8 trainings planned for this year, and we didn't do any of them. We really are committed to doing the in-person hands-on because it just works so well, and it makes such a great impact for folks to be together and learning in that hands-on way, getting their hands dirty.
Mhm.
But we have begun to create an online version of Arm to Farm because we just don't know when we'll be able to be together again. And we don't want to go through another year of not doing any training at all. So we will have a virtual version. So also I wanted to talk a little bit also about our ATRA program because it's sort of the supporting program that provides information and training for the veterans. Through ATRA, which is a sustainable agriculture information service that's been around since 1987, we have about 24 agriculture specialists who are available to answer questions related to farming, and that could be one of any wide range of topics. It's a free service. It's through an agreement with rural development that we provide this service. And we have a 1-800 number that farmers can call. We have an email address. We have a really robust website that is packed full of all kinds of resources, from videos, podcasts, tutorials, all sorts of stuff on all kinds of topics that people can access for free anytime. They're all free. And so the folks who are writing those publications and making those videos and also giving workshops, because that's part of ATTRA as well. We do a lot of workshops through ATTRA. Those folks are the ones who staff the Arm to Farm trainings. As well as when we do Arm to Farm trainings, we also partner with local NRCS conservationists to help us talk about resource concerns and those sorts of things. We partner with local FSA to talk about those programs. We partner with, like I said, local farmers who join us in teaching. So it's a really great way to cover a lot of different topics, and it's great for folks who are maybe still trying to figure out what they do want to do on their farms or don't want to do. It really can help them hone in on what their interests are. And we also focus on business planning and whole farm planning as well, not just production. So we do spend half the day in classroom settings, and then we go out on farms as part of the Arm to Farm trainings. So Arm to Farm and ATTRA are great companions that are available. Arm to Farm, if you want to get that type of training, if we're able to do it in person, it's only 1 week. If you are able to take that week and do the training in person, it's a really intensive, really great experience. But if you just want to call somebody on the phone or have a mentor available by email, you can get in touch with our ATTRA specialists. You don't have to attend Arm to Farm to get ATTRA information. So I hope that I've explained those two programs clearly enough. I feel like I've gone on kind of a long time. But I just want you guys to know what we have available to support you.
Oh yeah, we are very familiar with NCAT here at Farmer Veteran Coalition. We refer people to NCAT and the various trainings. I know you all did a Farmer Veteran COVID listening session at the very beginning of the pandemic. And yeah, it was really great. So we love what you guys do. And I'm noticing that we have, because I recognize a ton of names in here in our little chat room, which I love. I know we have a ton of organizations that offer agricultural training programs. Do we have any veterans that are looking for agricultural training programs in the chat room right now? Okay. If you want, oh, we have one. Okay. You guys, if you missed the beginning of this chat room session, it's a very informal chat room. If you're looking for specific programs, I see James. Yes, James, if you can either come off your mute and let us know what type of program you're looking for and what area, or you could type it in the chat if you're not comfortable coming off mute. Same with you, Jim. Either one of you can, or you can just listen to the organization's talk and build those connections that way. And you can also reach out to me directly after the conference or in the chat room or however you'd like. And I'll share my contact info in the chat room and I can get you connected with the program. But definitely want to, if there's a veteran looking for a program, we have a ton of really wonderful programs in this chat room right now. So definitely would like for you to speak up and let us know what you're looking for.
Yes, my name is Annette, and I am a brand new farmer, ex-Navy military, and I was actually interested in aquaponics, going into more of the indoor farming, hydroponics maybe, but I think really more aquaponics, microgreens, some of the smaller vegetables, starting my own market farm. As a matter of fact, I'm already starting to build a website in my own business. I already have my LLC and licenses, getting all of that together. So I am definitely looking for some training. I'm currently with the AgriLife Battlegrounds to Breaking Grounds. So we are in, yeah, you're familiar with that. So
Yeah.
I'm actually in we are almost in our sixth, I think I'm on week 12 now, week 13 lesson. So we will be actually finished in December, and we actually need to find mentorships and go out for training for 100 hours of training starting in January. So I'm starting to look right now, and I'm definitely eager to go out and find some training and get started in a new career. So yes, you can place me on the list.
Awesome. I will do that. And I recognize Erin Kimbrough. I see your beautiful picture. I don't know if maybe you stepped away from the computer, totally acceptable after a long day. But you
I'm
actually
here.
work. Oh, hi, there you are. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm in a trailer. The production side of things is not as pretty as the presentation. So I'm actually in a trailer in a parking lot. It's like our little production area. So if you hear cars honking passing by, I'm not on the side of the freeway. I'm just in a parking lot. But yeah, so Erin, you actually don't you work for or you manage the program Battlegrounds to Breaking Grounds? Aren't you involved with that program?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, thanks. Hey, Annette. I was just actually I saw your name and I was wondering. I didn't see your last name, but so I am the program manager for Battleground to Breaking Ground. It's a program through AgriLife Extension, and we've been in operation now since about 2012. We started with a one-day workshop, which we call Phase One, which we did do virtually this year because of COVID. And so that's on our YouTube channel now. We'll be making it into an online course, but for now it's on YouTube. And we have applications for phase two and phase three actually are open now for cohort 9. So we do cohorts twice a year. We have folks from all over the country because the program is online. We do have some in-person requirements. And if you want to apply for a tuition waiver, or you can actually just pay the tuition and waive the in-person requirements at our training farms and just select a mentor or wherever you're close and somebody that can support you locally. So we've got a lot of different options. And just this year, I think because of some of the online stuff we've done, I just ran the numbers, and we've served close to 1,000 participants through online courses and webinars and those kinds of things. So it's been challenging, I think, for all of us. And I think most of us, we like to get together and hang out with each other and farm together, but we're making it. And so Heidi, our farm manager for that farm outside of Fort Hood's on, and some of our project advisory committee members like Melissa Blair and Greg Shigemasa. So yeah, we've got lots of folks, and we're excited. Happy to tell you about programs. One thing I did want to tell you and mention, we did a partnership program and hosted a webinar with called Training Programs for Veteran Farmers, and that's on our YouTube channel too. So if you guys, I think we had Farmers Assisting Returning Military, the NIFTY, the National Incubator Farm Training Initiative, which lots of farms fall underneath that. And who's the other one? Oh, Hope Farms was on there. So if you guys are interested, just check out our YouTube channel.
Awesome, great. And I didn't want to skip over Annette's question. So I'm going to circle back to that, and hopefully in the next half an hour, we can even go over if we need to. We'll get a chance to talk to every one of the organizations that are on the chat room right now. But Annette, does anyone have any specific programs related to aquaponics? Annette, you didn't tell us, but I'm assuming you're in Texas. Is that correct?
Yes, I am in Dallas, Texas.
I'm a mind reader.
You are.
Familiar with the Battlegrounds to Breaking Grounds program. Again, we refer veterans to that program all the time. So really great program. And if anyone has any other aquaponics related programs that might be helpful to Annette, you can feel free to come off mute and share it. If not, Annette, I will follow up with you. I put my email in the chat, so just email me your specific request. I do have it down written right here, but email me and I'd be happy to follow up with you on that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Well, let me go back in order. Let's see. Oh, it kind of got a little bit shifted. So I'll just let you all decide which organization. How about Anna? I know you're with the Center for Land-Based Learning. We work very closely with you all with the apprenticeship program and the training program. You can feel free to pop off and tell us a little bit about you, what you do.
Yeah, hi everybody. Thank you. As Isamarie said, my name is Anna. I'm the apprenticeship program coordinator for the Center for Land-Based Learning. We're an agricultural education organization in Northern California, headquartered in Woodland. And we have a beginning farmer training program, as well as a registered apprenticeship program for aspiring farm and ranch managers. So I am more involved with the apprenticeship program than the training program, but we have veterans who participate in both. Our apprenticeship program is a VA approved program, so veteran apprentices can still access their benefits as well as receiving their wages on the job at the apprenticeship. And we're still a fairly new program as far as the apprenticeship goes. We've been around since 2016, 2017 is when it started. And we've had 4 now graduates of the program. Our one most recent graduate and one upcoming are both veterans. So we're super excited about that. We were really celebrating that last week during National Apprenticeship Week and for Veterans Day. So that was really, really awesome. But yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions or share any information about our apprenticeship program for beginning farmers and ranchers.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited about the apprenticeship program. We are an AgVet awardee from 2018. So, you know, FEC and the Center for Land-Based Learning, we have a partnership, and we work on our AgVets project together. And the apprenticeship program is one piece of that project, and another piece is the training program. So we actually offer 2 paths for veterans that are interested in different, you know, we have veterans that are interested in just finding a new job, you know, finding that new career, which could be the apprenticeship program, you know, working on a farm. And then we have veterans that don't want to work for anybody. I'm a veteran. I served in the Army for 8 years. So I got used and abused by the Army. I totally understand not wanting to work for anybody. Luckily, FEC is a great place to work. I'm not just saying that because they're recording my session right now. It really is a wonderful place to work. But the other program is a training program geared towards veterans who want to have their own business, and they need a little bit more of those business side of things, you know. So I am really excited about working with CLBL on that.
Absolutely, me too. I'm still fairly new as well to my role, so I'm excited for all the possibilities to come as well.
Okay, I'm trying to monitor the chat well, as well as be a good host. So if I missed anything, again, this is meant to be an informal chat. If I missed something, feel free to, you guys can pop off mute and say, hey, you know, there's something in here that we need to talk about. I'd be happy to talk about it. Otherwise, I am going to move on to I've already lost track. I was writing them down. Melissa Blair, I don't think, Melissa, do you want to share a little bit about what you do? Okay, then I'm going to hop on over to, it looks like Marcus. Hi, Marcus.
I'm trying to unmute myself. I actually figured out a way where I could be in 2 sessions at once. So I'm in the
Wow.
livestock session and I'm in this session.
You got it all figured out.
Um, I came in a little late because I am jumping back and forth between sessions, but my name is Mark Hudson and I'm here in Virginia. I'm in Warrenton, Virginia, and one of the things that has kind of got me lately is with all the training and education and stuff. I'm prior Army. I spent 22 years between active duty, reserves, and guard, and I grew up around horses and cattle, and I've really kind of I've delved really far back into horses again and working horses with cattle. And I've had a lot of people tell me, veteran wise, like, what's the next step after equine therapy? Equine therapy is great, but what do you do with your horses? And I started working cattle, and it was very beneficial to me after retiring. And it interests me, some of the programs and things you guys are talking about. Does anybody use horses with their programs? And like, I hear there's a big need, I know there's a big need for working cowboys, pen riders, feedlot guys, just working cowboys in general. And a veteran base is a great way to pull from that. Has anybody looked at that avenue?
So I'm going to pop in real quick. We actually get quite a few inquiries. We're in this weird position where we have organizations that do equine therapy. They contact us a lot about this, but we're an agriculture based organization. So whenever we hear horses, we think just, use them for cattle or using them on the ranch. We don't necessarily think of it for therapy. So.
Right. And that's the thing for me. I mean, like, so when it comes to that, I mean, having a use for them, being a veteran myself, I mean, like, for me, I grew up around horses and cattle. So equine therapy to me is going out and riding my horse, working cows, getting the job done. And that's one of the things where I've had a lot of people tell me they would never do equine therapy, but they enjoy roping and working cows and just the thing they get from that. So is anybody looking at incorporating like stockmanship stewardship? I know BQA, the NCBA, they have that program. There's a lot of programs that talk about stockmanship stewardship, and a byproduct is that, at least for me, was the therapy that came from it. But it also gets the job done.
If I can jump in here, Issa, this is Erin Kimbrough. We use horses and just do working cow horse stuff. But
right.
There's an organization called the Quivira Coalition, and it is it's not veteran specific. It's really open to just about everybody. But I think it's about a year-long program where folks go live on the ranch, and it's huge. If I remember, they do a lot of working cow horse type stuff. So something to check out, I think.
So I noticed someone popped in Horses and Heroes in the chat. Like I said, I'm trying to jump on my phone here. A lot of the programs that I've seen, they do stuff like that, but I know guys that have participated in those programs, and no one's really connecting with the big operations. Like 4-6 is a huge operation in Texas. There's a couple of huge operations in Wyoming and Montana, and they're always looking for people, and the veteran base is a huge employment pool there. I'm actually scheduled to have a call tomorrow with a woman from Texas A&M who is working on a program for that, employing veterans with big cattle operations and doing it from horseback like it used to be done years ago. And I know, like I said, some of these veterans programs, they do the one piece, but they don't look at the future. Like, what's the future of it? Like, where do you go from there? So that's something that's really interests me. And that's something that I've thought about. I made notes today about maybe starting a program of my own. Who would I talk to about doing that? If I wanted to start a program where I took guys and I trained them how to work cattle on horseback.
Where are you, Mark?
Yeah.
I'm in Virginia.
In Virginia. Yeah, we can. I know there's some good programs that they're in Virginia, but yeah, even on that East Coast, I think most of the programs I know are small. But you're right. We're here in Texas. We do have some connections with like King Ranch and the Four
Mhm.
Sixes, and we're starting to have those conversations through the foundation, through Texas A&M Foundation. So if you want to send me your contact, I can for sure keep you kind of abreast of what we figure out, and even maybe bring you into the loop if you're interested.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I've actually talked to the King Ranch Institute quite a bit there because their ranch management program, and I had a very lengthy conversation about educating veterans. Like there, as far as the one of the things that I've noticed is there's no training for ag-related businesses like processing plants, cattle buyers, guys like that. And those are the byproduct jobs, not necessarily being on the farm, but ag-based jobs that need to be filled. And those are, but and I started with this from the equine side of it, looking at the horses, and I just kind of went from there, talking to my dad about, my dad's a cattle broker and he's 75 and he's retiring. He buys cattle all over the Southeast, and now he's not doing it anymore. The next generation of coming in to fill that role. So yeah, I would definitely be interested in doing that. Let me make sure I get your contact info.
All right, I'll post it in the chat box.
Awesome.
So
Thank you so much for sharing all that with us, Mark. And you bring up a really good point that agriculture encompasses so much. It's not just row crops. It's not just beekeeping. It's not just cattle. I mean, you have all these byproducts that encompasses agriculture, and there's a huge boom in technology in agriculture right now. I mean, look at precision ag. So there's so much that agriculture encompasses, and Farmer Veteran Coalition is actually, we're working on ways to encompass all pieces of agriculture, which is a monumental task, but we're constantly trying to improve our programs and services to facilitate that. So thank you for providing all that information, and I'm glad that you can connect with Aaron. That'll be a great connection. Again, this is a totally informal session, so if anybody else wants to hop on, I'm trying to keep track of who all had a chance to share.
Lisa, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, hi James.
Yeah, I can go. Six other folks and myself, we are working on starting a workers' co-op to grow craft cannabis in Massachusetts. There's not a lot of typical resources that are available to me because of the crop we're growing, but the things that are, that I generalize, that I try to learn is different business training, as well as greenhouse production. And I've been trying to learn different aspects that way. Yeah, in those categories.
Okay, and where did you say you were located again, James?
Massachusetts.
Okay. Does anyone on the call have any particular organizations to refer James to in that area? If not, I can absolutely follow up with you, James. I posted my email inside the chat box, so feel free to shoot me an email, and I'd be happy to do a little bit of research and connect you with some relevant programs in your area.
Great, thank you.
Hey, James, this is Robin with NCAT, and we actually have a Northeast regional office in Keene, New Hampshire. And doing business planning, whole farm planning, that kind of thing, training is part of what we do. And I'd be happy to also get you connected with the folks in our New Hampshire office if you would like.
Yes, that'd be fantastic, Robin. Yeah, anything that different aspects that I can learn, definitely open to it. So thank you. I'll look. So do I contact you, or do I can look it up?
I'm going to put the regional director's email in the chat box. His name is Andy, and you can just shoot him an email.
Sounds like we're getting some feedback somewhere. Let's see. Mute. There we go. Somebody's multitasking, listening to 2 chat rooms at one time. I love it. Okay, it looks like we have a question from Farmer Mac. Hi, Farmer Mac. How are you? Oh, yes, you are the Northern California fungi. So for those of you who who don't know Farmer Mac, he is one of our training program graduates. I mentioned our partnership with the Center for Land-Based Learning earlier. So Farmer Mac grows mushrooms, and I'm not going to do it justice, so I apologize. But I mean, the pictures that he sends me are just amazing with what he does. And mushrooms are a very specific thing that I actually don't get a lot of people that ask me questions about mushrooms. So if anyone knows any specific programs that are in that area, I know it's a very niche area, but feel free to let Farmer Mac know. He's in the chat, and Melissa is having a hard time with her speaker. So I told her I would share, well, you all can see the chat. She put her information in the chat. I was trying to find it, but you guys are communicating great through the chat, and I love it. So and
they were selling out, meat as well. And
someone's multitasking again. Okay. Who else hasn't had a chance to share their program? Or ask a question about a specific program. Heidi, have you had a chance to share yet? Do you have anything you'd like to add? No, we can't hear you, Heidi. Sounds like a few people are having some trouble with their mics. Yeah, Heidi, we can't hear you. If you you can always feel free to put your information in the chat room if you haven't already in the chat box. So sorry about that. I don't know why we can't seem to hear you. Okay, Not Forgotten. Is that you, Yanni? Are you Not Forgotten?
No, ma'am. It's Don on the phone, Yanni's boss.
Oh, okay. Hi, how are you?
Doing wonderful. And how is everybody today? So, Not Forgotten Outreach, back in 2013, we started a Taos Veterans Farmers program. That has evolved over the years with therapy animals, hydroponics, row crops. We did aquaponics for 2 or 3 years. Greenhouses. It has now turned into the Vet Corps program, and we were a recipient of the Ag Vets grant this year, and we're looking at training 45. One of the perks of us is we're at 7,200 feet elevation. We're in high desert, so we do a lot of water conservation. And when you learn to grow up here in this small mountain town, you can pretty much take it to anywhere you want to.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. For those of you who know Yanni works for Not Forgotten. And so, yeah, he's made that transition. We were really excited to learn about that. So very happy to see that. I mean, we weren't happy to give up Yanni, but I guess if we had to give him up, at least he's going to a good organization. All right. Did I cover everybody? Greg, I thought you put a question in there. Hi, I'm Greg. I'm a business consultant with the Texas Veterans Commission. Hi, Greg. Did you want to pop off mute and share with us a little bit what you do?
Sure, we'll give it a shot. Hey, everyone. How y'all doing?
Doing good.
As she said, my name is Greg. I am a business consultant with the Texas Veterans Commission. Basically, what we have is a small team of 4 business consultants for the state of Texas, which is a very small state. We basically, what we do is we help veterans and their family members from ideation through exit. So everything from ideation through startup, through launch, through growth and expansion and exit strategies and everything in between. So we help with formation, we help with business planning, we help with marketing strategies, government contracting, basically any topic within the business realm. And although we are in Texas, if anybody needs anything, you can always just jump onto our website at the Texas Veterans Commission, hook up with us, and we'd be happy to help.
That's awesome. And yeah, I know Texas is such a tiny state, right?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, pretty. In fact, our last conference last year in Austin was our biggest conference yet. And some people like to attribute that to the location. So,
right. And as Erin mentioned earlier, we do have the Farmer Veterans Coalition Texas chapter, and I sit on the board with her.
Wonderful. Yeah, we love our Texas chapter. You guys are doing awesome stuff. Really, really great. I posted a link to the Texas Veteran Commission in the chat. So anyone who wants to view that, it's right there for you. It looks like we have people popping in and popping out, which I love. I think that's great. That's exactly what we wanted for this session, this chat room. For those of you who may have missed my initial spiel, this is just an informal chat about agricultural education and training programs and opportunities. That could encompass internships or apprenticeships or just education curriculum. Really, it encompasses whatever we need it to. So feel free to pop off your mic and introduce yourself. If you just popped in the chat room, let us know what you do. If you're a veteran looking for an ag program, let us know where you're at, what you're looking for. If you are an organization and you have an ag program, please feel free to share it. We could talk about the challenges of managing those ag programs, whatever you all like. So I do recognize Stuart. I recognize your name, Stuart. How are you?
I'm good. Sorry, it took me a second to unmute.
I put you on the spot. It's okay.
So I was on a session earlier today and talked about our center, the Irrigation Training and Research Center. So I'll just leave it at that we have a website and we have a lot of training opportunities if you have an opportunity to come out to California. Of course, we've shut down for the last year and we're hoping to start back up again with training during the summer. But we have a very large amount of online content. We've been working with the Irrigation Association because there's a very large group of the irrigation industry folks that that are still looking for training, certification classes so they can get their credits for CEUs and things like that. So we've been very active trying to expand our online content also.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I wasn't able to view your session earlier, but I heard it went well. So thank you so much for speaking on that session and sharing a little bit right now about what you do. Trying to keep track of who's popped in and popped out. Does anyone want to volunteer to pop off the mic or off the cam? Share a little bit about what you're looking for or what programs you offer. I'm seeing a question from Jonathan about what is the link for the irrigation training. I'm not sure what, I probably missed a little bit in the chat. So I'm not sure what specific training you're talking about, Jonathan. Okay, you can feel free to either. Oh, okay. Stuart, did you put your link in the chat box?
Sorry, I was typing while you were asking the question. So yes, I just posted the web link for the training stuff that we have available.
Great, awesome. Okay, Jonathan, he's posting it, or he actually just posted it. And then in addition to that, Jonathan, if you missed Stuart's session, we will have recordings that will be sent out to everyone. So you'll have, and even if you attended the session and you maybe felt like you missed something, you can review that at your own leisure. That'll be for all the sessions. So if you didn't get to attend one of the sessions that you wanted to, you'll get that video too. All right.
This is Mark again.
Yeah.
You guys mentioned about the chapters. I'm curious, do the chapters, because I know like Texas being a huge state, Virginia's fairly small, in perspective, do the chapters ever get together and do training sessions within their state? Is that something you guys have seen in the past? Have like, you know, I listened to and I wrote it down, it was phenomenal. Shay Folks, the peer group thing. And do the state chapters ever do something very similar to that peer group?
Yeah, so the purpose of the state chapter, so I can answer your question. There's a lot in there, but the state chapters, they vary depending on the actual chapter. Some states are really, really involved. They, you know, get together. They don't necessarily have formal meetings. Some of them do, but really we let the state decide what that looks like for that particular state. And we do encourage education and training opportunities to be made aware of the veterans that are in that state. So, you know, if we have, like, Texas is really one of our really great chapters. Washington has been really great. I mean, obviously all of our chapters, you know, we're very happy to have people dedicate time, volunteer time for those chapters. But there's always opportunities to connect with our chapters. And if you want to get involved in a chapter, really you can be a part of that chapter. And if there's something that you think the chapter is missing, you can recommend that to the chapter. And it could be entirely up to you all how you interact with each other. So I'm not sure if that answered your question. We do have a session on chapters tomorrow that could probably go more in depth on that topic. But yeah, we do try to encourage that collaboration. And then some of our chapters have a more difficult time because, you know, people are volunteering their time to lead chapters, and some people have more time than others, and some people just are more dedicated than others to do that. But
a kind of a follow-on question. That was great, by the way. Thank you. But a kind of a follow-on question to that, is there a way to, I guess, is there a way to link up with your chapter? Like, is there like I found it really hard to find like who's in my state. There was an event in West Virginia. There was a ranch roping, and I was trying to get folks together for that. It was a Farmer Veteran Coalition roping that was put on to benefit Farmer Veteran Coalition. But I found it really interesting that there was only one Farmer Veteran Coalition member that was there. And, you know, I was wondering if there was a way to get the word out, the way to like connect with your folks in your area.
yeah, so if you go to our main website, there is a chapters tab up there. And if you click on chapters, it'll show you all of the different chapters that we currently have formed and the ones that are in formation. And if you click on the ones that are formed, then they have the contact information there. And again, some of the chapters, they prefer you reach out to them on their Facebook page. And then some actually have an email address on there. And you know, we try to respect that our chapters are ran by volunteers. And so we try to respect that, you know, the best way to communicate, their best way to communicate is what we try to push out there. So that's the best way to find out with your specific chapter. Most of the chapters have Facebook groups, which is a really great way to stay up to date about what's going on in your area. And there's not a formal chapter sign up. You can reach out to the chapter presidents on the chapters page. And again, if you have more in-depth questions, you can join our chapter session. We're actually going to do a chat room similar to this tomorrow, specifically about chapters. So you can feel free to join that chat room and ask more questions from our chapters manager, Doris Mold. She'll have better answers than what I have for that.
Yeah, this is Jonathan from Wisconsin, Breadbasket Farm. I just want to talk about like some of the members before Wisconsin was getting a chapter formally, and it's in the process of being formed. And we had some great people, you know, connected with that way. But prior, there's two people within my area. We all served, and we're all part of the Farmer Veteran Coalition. And I think those couple people have probably been the most helpful. We've been most helpful to each other. We started just doing things kind of together in some regards. We started a cooperative to deliver and aggregate our products together along with other military veteran family businesses. And I think because majority of our chapters out, like in the western part of the state, at least part of the people that leading that, you know, entity to start it. But it's great to be able to just connect with local ones too, that we know like, hey, they're Farmer Veteran Coalition members. And then, you know, we have peers of ours that are like, hey, we want to learn about more farming. We're veterans, so we're referring them and recommending that they also join the Farmer Veteran Coalition. It's only a benefit to them, but also to our community in general. So
thank you so much, Jonathan, for sharing that. And yeah, definitely take a look at the chapters. We're pushing really hard, especially next year, to really do some chapter development, and feel free to give your feedback in that session tomorrow. It'll be the most direct way to affect our chapters program. And if there's something that you think can be done better, or if there's something you want to recommend, feel free to let us know during that chapters meeting. It'd be a really great time to share that. We definitely invite collaborative efforts. So I see Emily joined us. Hi, Emily. How are you?
Aloha. Hi. I love hearing from the other programs. I'm sorry, my name's Emily with Ho'ola Farms in Hawaii, and we are one of the Ag Vet grant recipients for 2019. So we're just in our first year and a half now of our program. And we work collaboratively with our extension program here in Hawaii, which is out of UH Manoa, and they provide the 6-month natural agriculture training, production training courses. And we at Ho'ola provide the health and wellness services that kind of provide a whole wellness wraparound services for the veterans that are in our program. And I encourage any program who's training veterans to think about incorporating some of the health and wellness programs that might be available where you have access to with just vendors or resources locally. We were able to hire an old vet center therapist just on 10% time. And we've had several of our veterans who are in our program utilize her services, not as direct, only point of communication with health and wellness services, but she was actually able to help guide them to other programs and services that they were eligible for once they kind of broke down some of the challenges that they were having. So I think a lot of our success has been because we've had those safety nets in place, and instead of losing someone, we're able to collect, understand what's kind of going on a deeper level, and then work together as a team to get them back on track. And they're in a cohort system, so we do have veterans going through the program together from Iraq and Afghanistan, all the way up to a Vietnam veteran that's in the program. So there's a wide variety of participants, but they all seem to be on track of supporting and bringing each other up together, understanding some of the challenges. So, it's just, that's been a benefit that we really feel has been valuable. And I know that it's not something we often talk about, especially in agriculture training, but I really believe that it has been a cornerstone of why we're able to continue to be successful. And it's something I'm going to continue to advocate for in the future as well. So if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to share our progress and answer questions. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Emily. You mentioned the cohort model, and we find in our work with the Center for Land-Based Learning, the cohort model has really been really key to the success of one of our major program outcomes, which is helping veterans to transition to civilian life. And yeah, the cohort model has been really received very well, and it's been a great opportunity for veterans to still lean on one another like we did in the military. And then, the program that we have at Center for Land-Based Learning offers an opportunity for those veterans to also work with civilians, people who didn't serve. And it's just really great to have that cohort there to lean on each other and provide resources for each other and just general support for each other. So I'm so glad that you mentioned that. We are scheduled. Oh yeah.
I was going to ask, has anybody else found, I think one of the things, in addition to that, I'll third that, I guess, as you seconded it. It definitely is a big component for us. And we try to keep our size to kind of like that small platoon size. Like we definitely, it's like 15 to 30 people seems like a really key size. And really it ends up being best in that like 15 to 25 range. It's like, just works really well. But what we found that I haven't seen in other farmer training programs I've worked with is how many of the participants in our program really kind of buddy up and form partnerships with the other vets in the program. And it seems like that's something very veteran focused, like this ability to kind of form a team and go through it together. We've had some Rangers come through the program and they talk about that's exactly what it's like when they go through Ranger training. And it like, that part I think is really great. We've had folks go into partnerships after the program, and even if they aren't in direct business partnerships, they'll get together and help each other out on each other's farms over the course of a weekend, or to get different stuff done. I think that's one of the best parts of it. Like watching the support that they have for each other in the program has been one of the most rewarding parts of working with veterans that we've had.
Absolutely. And oh, Jonathan, I saw you pop off. Did you want to say something?
Oh, I just wanted to I like the cohort model, and I think I just earlier this year I finished up a year-long nonprofit leadership training, same model, and we were meeting in person earlier on, and then the spring, the last session in our graduation, we did it online, and it was like a shock and change. And I think all of us have experienced a set of changes, but like that connection, the people that we build relationships with, like I mentioned the co-op that we started with other Farmer Veteran Coalition members, but initially some of that relationship started, like we took a class, it was like a, 3-month or 4-month class together at the technical college, specifically for veteran business startups. And we just continued that on. And then it's just like the next evolution of, because your strengths and, opportunities together. So it's part of that team that we had in the military. And it's an additional family that there's more level of trust where we compensate for maybe our internal flaws and we strengthen each other that way and encourage each other. So very much supported too.
Absolutely. And veterans, I mean, we just know, again, I didn't really share a lot about my background, but I am an Army veteran. I served in the Army for 8 years. And, I love working with non-veterans too, but really it's just so different working with veterans. I mean, it almost seems like you naturally understand each other. some of the conversations aren't necessarily accepted outside of the veteran community, but that's okay. We learn to adjust. But yeah, definitely that cohort model there's something deeper to it. You know, when veterans connect with one another, it's actually, I feel like it's the basis of our entire organization of Farmer Veteran Coalition. You know, we have conferences, and then we see these connections being made at conferences, and we're able to hear the aftermath of that. You know, when you have two veterans that collaborate and they met at an FVC conference, I mean, I can't tell you how many conversations we've had in the office where we're just like so excited about that, because that is what we want. And we know veterans work really, really well together. So yeah, I'm glad to see that is a trend amongst the programs, definitely the cohort-based programs. So we are supposed to officially end this chat room at 3:15. I'm happy to stay on longer if anyone wants to share more information. I haven't checked the chat room in a while. Sorry. Oh, thank you for your service. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you so much. Yeah, very, very happy to serve. And I saw someone earlier mentioned beekeeping, and I apologize for not fully seeing all of that conversation, but the Heroes to Hives program is a really great program. If you want more information about that, if you want to be connected, whoever that was, if you wanted to be connected with someone specifically to talk to you about the Heroes to Hives program, I'd be happy to connect you with someone. My husband's a beekeeper, and so we can talk about bees all day long, but we're not here for that. So we are supposed to officially end right now, but again, if you guys want to extend it, I'd be happy to. You guys can feel free to pop off your mic and share whatever you want to share, or if you just want to leave, we can leave with a wave, and hopefully see you all tomorrow. That works too.
I'll share real quick. Hi, I'm Jim. I chatted in the chat room initially just to kind of introduce myself. I'm currently active duty. I'm stationed in Naples, Italy right now. It's 12:15 a.m.
Oh, wow.
But it's one of my off days, so I wanted to dial in. Appreciate everyone providing inputs. I already received an email from, I think it was Melissa. So thank you. Yep, Melissa. So thank you. That was a very quick response. I just wanted to say, for me, the way that everyone's adapting to COVID to try to provide training is something that actually works out for me, because that would be the only way that I can possibly receive training. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. I have 2.5 years before I'm planning on leaving the Navy. So I'm trying to take on all of the tools that I can to really decide what it is I want to do. So I have an engineering background. I have a degree in mechanical engineering. So I'm interested in controlled environment agriculture. I think a lot of things start with that I've learned about so far comes down to understanding the soil biology and the health of our soil. So that's some stuff that Melissa sent to me already. And then getting business training. I already did the Boots to Business seminar when I was quarantining for 14 days when I first got stationed out here. So that was a good use of my time. But any other opportunities to just take, Greg mentioned something that made me send a message to him to get his email, but an ideation. I have some ideations that I'd like to kind of run through. People who see this and work through ideas and start building them into practical business plans. So anything that I can do or resources that are there virtually, I'm absolutely interested in. I'm will be a Texas veteran. So I see a lot of Texas resources. That's why I asked Greg for his point of contact, just so I could follow up with him. So I might end up in Texas. I'm not sure if we're going to end up in Texas or back in San Diego or Tennessee or Colorado. So it sounds like from the conference, people are definitely emphasizing reaching out to your local USDA, NCRS branches to just get tied in locally. So I'm going to be looking to do that after the conference is over and just establishing some contacts and seeing what resources are there to possibly drive us to one of those locations. But just wanted to kind of like blast what I'm looking for and things that I'm interested in learning more about to further define and make myself like as prepared as I can be when I leave in 2.5 years. So yep, that's all I got. Thank you to everyone who's participating.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jim. It sounds like you're doing so much. But, feel free to send our support email, support@farmvetco.org. You can send us an email anytime. You can call us. Our number is on the website. You can call us anytime. Whenever you make these transitions and, when you get more, maybe you move to a different location, you can give us a call and we can share with you different events and different programs that are happening in your area. But we do send out emails. So if you're an FEC member, we do send out emails when we hear about virtual training events and things like that, which it sounds like with you being in Naples, that's entirely what you're looking for now. We do send out that information via email. So definitely check out for our emails. We'll send you some more amazing webinar opportunities. That's one of the good things about COVID is that we're able to participate in these webinars. Whenever you mix in agriculture, it becomes a little bit more challenging. You can only learn so much from staring at a screen. So, but you can definitely start your knowledge there for sure.
Yep. Actually, one last thing I'll say that you made me think of just there is, you're right. You can only do so much from just staring at a screen. So once we finally got here, I began growing some things just with the limited space that we have. So another thing I'm looking for is some mentorship or just other people that can kind of look at what I'm doing and, bounce ideas off of just to, have some sort of feedback loop there instead of just, living in YouTube and, and reading resources and whatnot online. So it looks like people are chiming in and providing a lot of resources. So I'll definitely go check those out. I appreciate it.
Okay, yeah. In addition to that, I am typing my email in here again. I typed it in earlier, but we have such a great chat feed going on right now that I am going to bring it right back up to the top. We do offer mentorships. So if you send me an email and I will send you a link to our mentorship intake form. We do ask questions about geographical area because a lot of times agriculture really is different in the different, areas of the country. Beekeeping in California is much different than beekeeping in Michigan. But we can accommodate the fact that you're you're out of the country. We can accommodate that. So send me an email. I'll have you fill out our mentorship intake form. I may have to modify that a little bit to fit your needs, but we'll get you connected with someone who can, at least have those conversations with you, because like we already mentioned on our call, talking about the cohort model in training and education programs, just building those connections. We find the same thing with mentorships, having a farmer veteran mentor another farmer veteran we haven't heard anything bad from that experience yet. So I'll be happy to connect you with somebody.
Isa?
Yeah.
Can you tell me just a little bit more? So all of our Battleground participants, we put them like on a map, our graduates, so that they can link up because we require them to get those hands-on learning hours too. But we don't want to recreate the wheel. So if we can work together to get whatever that map is for, because I think we have about 1,800 members in Texas, last time I checked. So I've FBC members, and we have probably over 100 grads now. So if we can do that, that'd be awesome.
Sure. Now, do you mean for mentorship?
Yes. Yeah. So we require them to get 100 hours of hands-on learning, which it's usually through a mentorship. Some of those are done at the training farms, but some of them are just done with other farmer ranchers. But I know they want to connect. We just don't have particularly a mechanism and a good one to do that yet. So if you guys have already started it, I'd love to work together.
Absolutely. We actually have several options. You and I can talk offline. I'll reach out to you after the conference. Like we talk offline about it, but yeah, we actually have several options.
Yay. All right. Thank you.
No problem. All right. Did anyone have any last minute connections to make or information to share? Any requests of me that I can follow up on post this chat room? Okay. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining. I know we've had people pop in and pop out, and we really just wanted this to kind of, we couldn't really replace that energy that we get from an in-person conference, but, we're hoping to make this informal and just an opportunity to chat and share information. And so hopefully that's what you all got from this. And we look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow. There's 2 days to our conference. So, come back to us tomorrow. You'll get a ton of new information tomorrow. And yeah, I guess that's the official end of our chat room.
Hustle really fast with it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Bye. You guys have a good evening.
You too.
Jim, go to bed. It's late.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing next. Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks all.